Welcome to Real Women of Bastrop, where small town charm meets big time grit. I'm your host, Lindsay Cana, 6th generation Bastropian, realtor, and community cheerleader. Around here, we're more than big hair. We're business owners, mamas, creatives, and quiet powerhouses. In this podcast, well, it's pulling back the curtain on the stories, struggles, and strength of the women who keep this town running. Because every woman has a story, and around here, we believe yours matters. Let's get into it. So we are talking today about mean girls. Well, not mean girls who have stayed mean and turned into mean moms, mean adults. Which I think is a very, I think a lot of people this will resonate with because someone has experienced this at some point in their life and someone might be on the giving side or giving end of it. So I think it's important to share, and Kim is going to share a few of her experiences with us, and let's just talk through it and why are we talking about this today?
Yeah, I had a moment. I think that I texted you last week, a week and a half ago, and I was like, I feel like we really need to talk about this because I think the luxury of my job is having so many people in my chair and hearing people talk about things. And one thing that I know that I hear a lot of women talk about is that mean mom group, that the mean girls, like you said earlier, the mean girls that never grew up and are now moms. And I will say it's a small number, but it's like a pack mentality and it's just loud and it's hard to ignore. And for me personally, I experience it. And I think there's just this, we want to be accepted by everybody. We just want everyone to like us. And I found myself being like, I haven't done anything to them. I'm a nice person. I don't know why they don't like me. And I think the biggest thing that I've come to is they just don't like me.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? It actually has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with themselves, and that, it's their insecurity, right? So when you feel insecure with your own self, I think what happens is you want other people to feel that too. You want them to hurt like you're hurting or whatever, right? Whatever it happened in their childhood or in the present, and it really doesn't have anything to do with you. So I think, you probably do a good job of letting it slide off a little bit, but some people do take it very personal, and you might take it personal still too. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, why? But I want you to know it is not you. It is them. For sure.
No, it took me a long time to, and it's just, I've gained the mentality of, do I even want to sit at that table? And no, I enjoy being around women that are supportive of one another. And, it says a lot when you really don't know someone and they just don't like you. And whether it be something that has happened to them or whatnot, it's confusing to be on that end of things. Even when you're grown, it can make you feel really small. It takes you back to that like junior high and you get the anxiety of like, where am I going to sit? Like, that's something that I'm really like struggling with still, is if I don't have someone going with me to, a game, I get really nervous. Like, oh, I'm going to have to sit by myself, and as an adult, that really shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah. But I think it's like that inner kid in us just gets so nervous because, like, again, at the end of the day, we really want to be accepted. It's, and things that personally for me, I think one of the main things I've kind of heard revolving is I've had people accuse me of being fake, which you and I have known each other for a very long time. Yeah. And what you see is what you get with me.
Yes. There's no fake. It's really you.
Yes. And like, I'm the first to poke fun at myself. I do not take myself seriously. I am a humble person. I know that can sometimes be, I guess, a little confusing when I show up in feathers and sequins. So, but it's also been a dressing thing that I feel like makes people uncomfortable, which I think is so funny.
Weird. It's so odd. Like, who cares? Like, this is what, and this resonates with me a little bit because when I've always been accused of overdressing forever, and I don't feel like it's, maybe it is overdressing. I don't know what is overdressing, but I don't judge other people who don't dress up for an event or an occasion. Right. So why are they judging me
for wearing too much or overdressing. And I had to come to terms with, like, I'm going to wear what I want to wear, and I don't really care.
Absolutely.
If I'm in a ball gown and everyone else is in jeans, that's how I feel comfortable.
Yes. And I think that's the thing. I think that people want you to, I know it's cheesy, but they want you to dull your sparkle. It's like they want you to tone it down because, and it's so weird to me. It's like, if that makes you feel more comfortable, again, it says a lot more about you than me. What's that saying? What Sally said about Susie says a lot more about Sally than it does Susie.
Of course.
Right. And so it's like, but fake. And then why does she always dress up? And it's like, well, I work in front of a mirror all day. I have literally gone into work, hair not done. I had, say, I overslept or whatever, just not having a good day, right? And I'll just I'll schlump it for the day. Do you know how much I constantly regret that the whole time I'm looking at myself in the mirror? So, and then also, I have a brand. Like, it's my brand. And I also enjoy dressing up. Yeah. But it's so funny that we have to defend this about ourselves.
Yeah.
And, and again, it's a very select few amount of people. This isn't, a whole town against me.
Yeah.
It's a select few, but it's a loud select few.
Have you spoken to any of them about anything?
I mean, I feel like if there were to be a conversation, I think that it would be, my gosh, why would you ever think that? Of course not. Deflection. And even if I tried to explain myself, I just think when people, it's kind of like Mel Robbins' let them theory, right? You just have to let people be, they're going to choose a way to be, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's okay. I think that it does bother me that maybe some people, they choose a narrative about me that is not true. And here's the thing. I have been on the side of where I have gossiped before. And, I think there's a difference in being on that side and going, okay, I'm not going to do that again. Yeah. That didn't make me feel good. And if you did, and if that gossip wound up hurting someone's feelings, apologizing and just not doing it again. And then there's people that that just doesn't register. And it's okay. But talking with women, I see how it's kind of a shame. It makes us feel ashamed of ourselves when, we don't belong, especially as moms. We want to have our village to raise our kids in. But if you have a village that's more so mean girls, that one's hard. And especially if you've got a group mentality. Yeah.
Are they doing certain things to you, like, consistently, or is it just not wanting to talk to you at all? Can you give everyone a specific example?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that passive, you say hi and they turn their heads away.
Wait, like just like not interested.
Yes.
Wow.
And so, and it's with people that some people I haven't even spoken more than 3 words to. So it just makes me go, what is this? But then you see the group they're with. And I've also had to come to terms with, some people that float around in that group. I kept trying to why is this friendship so hard to keep? Why do I feel uncomfortable? Why do I feel like this person doesn't like me? And I think that I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about it, and I just don't think they're a good friend. And it's coming to that realization too. Some people aren't good friends either. Yeah. And, to keep that in your Rolodex and, and to move on. And I think, like, what would we tell our kids? What would we tell our girls and our sons about bullying, Yeah. And a lot of times I think our advice is, hey, just don't hang around them. Yeah. Like, just let them be, but don't give them that ammunition, right? It's kind of hard to take our own advice, though. So especially when you're not doing that and you just, you want to be liked. And, but yeah, I think for me this year, the past, I don't know month, it's really been like, okay, I'm not just imagining things. This is actually happening. And okay, there's a lot of other moms that, are nice. And those are my people.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to kind of just let that go, let them be. And they're not being mean to your kid, right? It's just, they're just not.
No, but kids see this behavior. and someone that's emotionally conscious of their behavior and someone that is considerate of others. If you don't give space for people yourself, I think that how we treat people, I mean, our kids are watching, even if they're older, they're always watching. And that mean girl mentality, we just don't want our daughters and, and then our sons, like, I guess that would be the term bully. We just don't want them to be on that side of things.
Yeah. No, I always tell Addie and Kendall, because I do see parents forcing their kids to be friends with kids that their parents are friends with, right? So I've always told Addie, you don't have to be friends with someone just because I'm friends with their parents. But you do have to always be kind. But I don't want to force you to have a friendship if you don't want it. You can choose, but you definitely cannot be mean to someone or exclude someone on purpose. Consistently, you need to be kind. And so, yeah, that's, I think too, as women, how do you feel good about yourself when you go to sleep at night, and to your point, you don't want to be friends with them. Like, you don't want, because once you, and I teach my kids this too, the people you associate with, even if you're not friends with them, if you're hanging out with them and you're around them, people automatically assume they're that way, right? And that's
Absolutely
a hard lesson. So you don't want to be with that group and doing the same thing. Or even if you don't do it, people think you are like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and for me, I moved around a lot when I was younger. My dad, he's now retired, but he was a high school football coach.
Right.
And so with that comes a lot of moving. And particularly one of my moves, it was like intermediate and then early junior high. Just a really hard, awkward time as it is. But I experienced a lot of bullying at this school. And, I think that that's where this like anxiety of it comes from. It's almost this weird fear of being left out and, oh no, not again, and it's, oh my gosh, that was how many years ago? That was so long ago. But, you don't forget that stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
and for those people, those mean moms or others, to hear you say that, how that makes you feel, because they might not, I mean, maybe it is their intention to make you feel like that. I don't know. But I think it's helpful to hear that, it does hurt your feelings and it does make you have anxiety about going to places. And I think it can't hurt for people to hear that, right? They might think, oh, she doesn't care. Like, that's why I'm ignoring her. I'm not going to talk to her because she doesn't care about me, which that could be it. They might think that you don't want to have anything to do with them. I don't know, but they're handling it the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where, I do fly under the radar more so, when I'm in the salon, I'm very loud, boisterous. I have a big personality a lot of the time. Or if I'm around people that I feel really comfortable with, but kind of every day, like out, I'm actually very quiet and reserved. And I know that might be confusing to people when they see what they see on the outside, like on the perspective of, if someone doesn't know me, they're going to see it more social media, right?
Sure.
So it's, why is she not talking? She must not like me. And I'm sure this can be something. I do think there's a big difference in someone being quiet and misunderstood versus someone intentionally doing something over and over.
Yeah.
And it's and it feels bad. It doesn't feel good,
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I've had those accusations of being fake. I think that's the biggest, and I've heard that from multiple people.
What do you mean? Say you're fake, or they say people think you're fake?
I've heard it, people accusing me of being fake, and then people assuming I'm fake. So, which is, I don't get it, because I am the same person. I don't use people. It's what you see is, again, what you get.
Yeah. No, I think, and people might think, oh, well, she dresses up and she, does her hair, has extensions, whatever, does makeup, gets Botox, all these things that, I look at it as like self-care and just what you want to do and how you want to look and how you want to be. But maybe they're seeing it as like you're trying to cover something up, and that's the fakeness. I don't know.
Maybe. And you know what? I'm really honest with people. I'm like, listen, the outside of me, sure, 75% fake. But the inside, 100% real.
Yeah.
Okay?
But you don't talk about people behind their backs. I can attest to that. You don't go around and gossip and don't talk bad about people. So I would hope that they don't think that that's, or that's not what they mean by being fake. because you
Yeah.
definitely don't do that.
And I think it's probably taking the, like, hey, I'm just not going to associate with these people. Whereas I tried in the past.
Yeah.
And it's that sudden, I'll still say hi, but I just want to associate. And maybe that sudden, oh, she's not associating now. Like, oh, she's not talking to us. Yeah. But to me, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
situation.
of course.
So,
And at the end of the day, like you said, you don't want to be around them anyway. So, I mean, they've proven to you that how they're going to treat you, which is not good. And I think you said something about, you're still cheering on their kids, and that's huge. So you're showing your son, even though I am being treated this way, I'm still going to root for their kids because we all, they're kids. So
absolutely. And I think the biggest thing too is they kind of want you to go to their level.
Oh, they do.
They want you to go to their level.
People just want to argue and just want drama because I'm telling you, because they are just not happy and they need something to make them feel a certain way. And they're not getting that in their home life or with their other friends. And so they need that drama to feel alive, I guess. I don't know. It's insane to me.
And I think it's also, you have to think about, okay, their narrative could be anything, right? But if you feed into it and you mirror their behavior and you ignore them and you look away if they say something, if you don't say hi, hey, good job, he did great during the game, it will align that narrative they're making up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so if you wind up not doing that, people around them are going, wait a minute, you're saying this, but I'm not seeing it. So it just kind of dismantles that narrative that they've made about you. So, but yeah, I've felt for women in my chair that have felt excluded in life, and the life being like that small group segment of where your kids are going to school and just not having, a lot of people have moved to the Bastrop area, right? And so there's a lot of new people, new school, kids, new schools, and they just don't have that friend group and haven't found it yet, or just are on the edge of a friend group, but they're not invited places. They're not, included. And in one aspect, it feels silly because we feel like we shouldn't be feeling this way.
Yeah.
But again, I just think that it's something that you don't outgrow. We all want to belong. Yeah. We all need to belong to something. So
yeah. No, I agree. And I've had friends who have felt that, and I think the tricky part for me, I'm not running around trying to meet a million friends. I'm nice to everyone, but there's just limited time with 3 kids. And so once you have your set group, I think for me, they either if I invite so-and-so, then I have to invite so-and-so, and they're going to get mad. And so a 10-person outing turns into 50, and then what are you doing?
Right.
So that's the hard part. And that is something that I would love to hear, more discussion around that, because I've felt torn in different directions with my friends and others who have said, I just feel left out. Y'all don't invite me to this and that, or I wasn't invited that one thing, or you're going on a trip with so-and-so. Why didn't y'all invite me? And I think it's okay for us as women to have a close friend and not have to invite everyone, right?
Absolutely. No, and I think that's the big difference there. It's being close with someone, being close with a group of people, it doesn't mean that you're excluding, and you're being this exclusive group. It's you get along with these people, and it's easy for you to travel together, or it's easy for you to, you know each other's schedules, right? Yeah. When you're close with people, you tend to know their schedule, when they're able to come. And I mean, I'm guilty of just, I work, I go home.
Yeah.
I make, I do very little time of, kind of getting out, socializing. Also, my job is I socialize all day. Yeah. And so I feel like I fill that cup. And so it's never something that I'm never bothered by the small things. It's, because like you said, you would be having a 50-person outing every time, and that's just not feasible.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be closer with some people. I have my very close best friends, and, that's okay to have that. It's just, it's the other ickier side of it.
Yeah.
It's the, but are they excluding you and saying mean things about you?
Gotcha. Yep. that makes sense.
That's the part that's not okay.
Mhm.
That's the part that, are they not even willing to get to know you because
Yeah.
this narrative they've made up
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's a fear of it being dismantled.
It could be something, they might be scared, these one or two people, that if they do invite you in and do hang out with you, one of their friends is going to really like you more than they like them. I mean, I've seen that before. I've seen people get jealous over two other women becoming close.
Isn't that weird too?
It's
Isn't
so
it strange?
weird. It's so weird.
Again, that grown woman territorial
Very
mentality of her friends, I find that so odd.
But that's insecurity. That's thinking, oh, they're going to steal so-and-so away from me, and then I'm not going to have that closeness, or, they're going to like her more than me. It's a messed up thing, and I don't know where it comes from, but it has to stem from some kind of insecurity or being excluded along the way, or as a child being abandoned. I feel like that could come from abandonment, maybe. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's not fun. It's
no, and it's not fun, but it's so, I just think it's such an unspoken thing. I think that we all can think of a time where we have felt really uncomfortable or confused about a situation or people. Yeah. And like I said, it can be a really small number, but most of the time these people run with this pack mentality. And it's just that they're louder. It's small, but a louder group. And, you don't want to be the butt of someone's joke. No one does.
No. Okay, I'm going to need names. I'm kidding. If someone messes with you, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? Leave her alone.
I know. It's hard to stay high. Yeah. And listen, I'm guilty of bringing things onto myself. Okay, happened to me last year. And I got to say, I do have a little bit of insecurity now, wearing sparkling things to work during a school week. Because a teacher called me at the end of the day, I'm literally going in line at the junior high to pick my son up. And he just happened to have a teacher call me, talk to me about something. She wanted to talk to me at the end of the day. Girl, I was wearing a bronze sequin skirt with a black top and my black boots, right? It was a cute outfit. But I'm having to walk from my car, the parking lot, these sequins. It's a sunny day. So I'm a freaking bronze disco ball down below. Walking to junior high, I will say, there were a couple girls that were like, I love your outfit. And I'm like, this is a very age appropriate outfit for you. And I feel really silly. And I was so embarrassed, but you know what, whatever. We did it. I was like, hey, I'm walking. I could see heads turning as I'm walking in, going yep.
There she is.
I choose to do it. So I just
keep doing it. Don't let them dull your sparkle. I mean, no, you can't. You got to keep doing you.
Absolutely. No, never. And I just think if you're having a bad day, just throw on something colorful and fun. You're going to, and put your makeup on, do your hair. You're going to feel really good.
Yeah.
It's like a form of, it's like dopamine dressing. I heard someone say that phrase before, and I thought that was so great. So I definitely do dopamine dressing.
No, absolutely. I love it. It just makes you feel good. For me, now a lot of people, it probably doesn't. I don't know. I love to dress nice and feel like I'm put together, and that's not a bad thing. I had to let that go a long time ago because, it's just insane.
Absolutely. And I tell people this story too, because I think that when you show up consistently yourself, people will start to understand that's just you, right? And sure, there's going to be a small amount of people that are never going to like it. But I tell people that when I first started dating Troy, people were meeting me in Smithville, and I would always dress nice when I would, it would be on a date. We'd be seeing each other. And I would always get, you are always so overdressed. You're always so overdressed, right? And it would almost be an accusation, right? And I'm like, I know, I just like to dress nice, and I never stopped doing that. Well, about a year later, what wound up happening is people stopped approaching me saying, why are you always dressed so nice? You don't have to do that here. People would come up to me and say, you always look so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because instead of becoming this, that's strange.
Yeah.
I don't see that too often. And then it was so cute because I'd have people send me photos of their outfit before going out. On my clients.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I thought, what would Kimberly do?
Yeah.
How would Kimberly dress? And I love that. We should all love ourselves just a teeny bit more, whether that's, giving yourself extra time, giving yourself like more self-care, or giving yourself a bomb outfit to go out in, you know?
Christy Nelson, we're friends. But that is really how we bonded, is over clothes, like over outfits.
Yeah.
She would always compliment her. She would always compliment me. And then we started texting each other like, hey, is this cute? Are these boots still in? Like, do I look old? And that's just how we communicate and how we bond. So I think as long as you're doing it and, like you said, being true to yourself and showing up consistently, you're going to attract the people that you mesh with. And I think that's a good thing. So I think that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have planned many an outfits with Christy in my chair. We have planned outfits. She's shown me, okay, oh, yes, that. Oh, yeah, love it. So, and that's fun. I don't know. It's a girl. I'm a girl's girl.
Yep.
I'm always going to be a girl's girl.
Yep.
If I see you, I was out in Austin and we were my husband and I getting ice cream, and there was a younger girl in front of me and she had the actual like price tag out of her clothes and it was just sitting on the outside. I, went up to her. I said, hey, I'm going to tuck this into your shirt. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. If we see someone with food in their teeth, if we see someone with like, oh, is your hair out of place? It's something that, lipstick on the side, like, let's stop and be like, even though it might be embarrassing to bring it up, there's nothing more mortifying than when you go into the bathroom and you like, oh my God, why did no one tell me?
I know. No, and I love complimenting people. It's something I want to like incorporate more, like every day, at least compliment someone, because it just feels so good too, like on the giving end and on the receiving end, right? If you see something that someone does that you like or that you saw, and it doesn't have to be their outfit, it can be anything, a good action that they took, or a way they made you feel, text them, pick up the phone and be like, hey, this was awesome, thank you. I just think it's important because those little things go a long way, and a lot of people don't hear it as often as you think they might,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, Sarah Hauser's the best at that.
She is. Yeah, she's great.
She will send a text.
I agree.
Hey, just want to let you know that. And it's just, that's such a sweet, I mean, what an amazing thing to like remember someone by, right?
Yeah.
That's their character. Hey, I was just thinking about this and I wanted to let you know. And that's so easy for us to do, right? Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, it can be hard to compliment other people, and it shouldn't be. There's nothing that we're taking away from ourselves.
Yeah.
But none of that is threatening or, I think it's just, I think being vulnerable, it's such a hard thing for us to do.
It's hard for people.
So,
it makes people uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah.
And it makes people who are, not as emotionally developed, it makes them even more, scared or, to open themselves up. So I think when you have a strong sense of self, it is easier to do those things. And I think the moral of this story is I hope people listening are like, let me think about how I'm acting, because they might not even know they're doing it, or they might be doing it intentionally, but let's just stop it and let's think about what you like about yourself too. For those people who are hurting you, they need to find some things they like about themselves so that they can hopefully change their behavior.
Absolutely.
But
there's always good qualities.
Yeah.
Like just because you've hurt someone, or you can be like, that person hasn't been nice to me, there's always going to be some good quality in there. Mm-hmm. And it's up to, I feel like it's up to the person to find it themselves and then project that.
Yes.
And then also I feel like it'd be great to me share a compliment about you right now.
Okay.
That I
I've only cried on one.
I love, it's happening right now. There's nothing more I love than when you're in my chair and I make you laugh, because you have the best laugh. There's some people whose laughs, it just feels like a warm hug.
Yeah.
And so that's your laugh. I just love your laugh. And then you always have such a great, grounded perspective on things. I can see how people use you as a sounding board. Yeah. Because you just, again, your perspective on life, it's so grounded, and you stay pretty logical. I guess sometimes I can freak out and go into the not logical space sometimes. And life is hard, but you always seem to stay grounded. So.
Oh, thank you. I love you. You are really one of the kindest people. So, and it does hurt my heart that you're being treated that way. So you can always come to me as a safe space. And you have several friends that are amazing too. So, but you are very kind, and don't lose that. I know you won't. You're good.
No, I'll still show up in my feathers and my
Yes.
sequins.
Put it on, girl. Put it on. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for chatting with us. I do want more people to reach out about this topic if they're interested in sharing any stories or any insight,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just, let's leave the world a little brighter and kinder, right?
For
Than
sure.
it was before.
Yes. All right. Thank you, love. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
That's it for this episode of Real Women of Bastrop. If today's story moved you, made you laugh, or reminded you of the power of community, share it with a friend and please leave us a quick review. It helps more people find these stories and the women behind them.